Thank you for listening to this podcast from TRE, Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain and around the world. For more information, please visit tre.radio.
TRE in the afternoon. Presented by Hannah Murray.
Good afternoon. It's just gone 5:05. You are now listening to Women Talk. With me in the studio today is Carmel Rogers, Georgina Shaw and Lily Taylor. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Hannah. Thank you all for coming in. If you are listening at home and you'd like to get involved, you absolutely can. Here's how.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95.
What a beautiful day, it's a wonderful life.
Okay, we're starting with breakfasts. It's been the go-to breakfast staple for many a trendy youngster in recent years, but now Generation Z appears to be turning up its collective nose at avocado on toast in favour of an old classic, the omelette.
Could not agree more.
Really?
I hate avocado.
Oh,
on
I
toast.
love avocado on toast.
And I saw a video years ago about how omelettes were good for you or something, and I always love an omelette. I would opt for an omelette way before anything like avocado. on toast.
And what do you have in your omelette?
I have cheese ham, if it's available, and then I fry peppers and onion as well, or cherry tomatoes.
Nice.
Yeah, proper.
Lovely.
Not every morning, though. I usually have chocolate cereal, but if I'm
How's
feeling...
honesty coming out?
Maybe on a Sunday I might do that, but it's got to be something quick.
Yeah.
I make my own granola muesli kind of thing.
Oh,
so
nice.
chia seeds and pumpkin
Lovely.
seeds and all
My mum
sorts.
does that.
See, I was wondering whether the move away from the avocado had anything to do with the environmental impact of it. Because, people are talking now about just how much water avocados need to grow.
yeah, of course.
It's a really...
Why do they have to ruin nice things for
I
us?
was like, I still really want one, but I feel bad every time I do it, because apparently it's like 10 times more than a potato or something like that. I mean, it's really high level.
Potato on toast doesn't do it though, does it?
On plate of chips anytime.
Yeah, that's true.
Gosh, I eat so many avocados, it's unreal.
I like it with tomato and oil.
Yes, that's my lunch. I've literally had the same lunch every day this week, and it's been a big salad tomato chopped up, with a whole avocado chopped up, white onion chopped up, a tin of Melva, really nice tuna, olive oil, lovely.
Very
Yes,
good.
lovely.
Really
You're making me hungry.
But I have to say, my favourite breakfast is poached eggs and avocado on toast.
That's my mum's as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never tried that.
Oh, well, you're
I'm going to try that.
It's really, I love poached eggs. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting hungry as well. If you had an omelette, Georgina, what would your choice of flavour be?
Yeah, I do like an omelette, especially if I'm sort of trying to get more protein in.
Yeah.
And then bacon and eggs always good. So sort of some bacon and a bit of cherry tomato is very nice.
Nice.
Cheese and onion.
Lovely. Mine's going to sound really posh now, but I've had it. I've never cooked it for myself, but I've had it in a cafe, and it was so good. I love mushrooms. Like, mushrooms is one of my favourite things ever, and it's mushroom and truffle. That is posh. Mushroom and truffle omelette. Really good. No other omelette comes close once you've had that, to be honest. I definitely am a fan. We talked about this last week with the men, and I thought I'd save it to see what the women think as well. This is talking about Christmas dinner. It's only a month and a bit away now. Yes. For many of us, the traditional Christmas dinner with turkey and all the trimmings is the highlight of the season's festivities. But it seems that so-called millennials are beginning to shun the roast, with more than a fifth saying they will be serving curry, pasta or pizza instead this year.
That's criminal.
It's like cop out, isn't it?
Now we have a very good age range in the studio today. So that's interesting that we all agree wrong.
No.
Definitely wrong.
Have you ever had anything other than a traditional?
Never, ever.
No.
I'm not even a super, like, mega fan of turkey. I prefer chicken, but I still wouldn't not have turkey on Christmas Day. Like, I can't imagine, let alone give up the roast dinner. Like, absolutely not.
My cousin, who's a fabulous cook, she did lobster thermidor once.
Oh, nice. See, I'd pass on turkey for
Yes,
that. Absolutely.
I must admit, if that was on offer every year, I'd have that. But she is a fabulous cook. But you can't, obviously, price-wise, you can't. If you've got 13 people for Christmas dinner, you're not going to do lobster thermidor. I can understand if you've got 13, you do pasta, but not really.
Yeah.
I think what's important is it's the kind of sense of occasion. So I know quite a few people, like you said, don't really like turkey particularly. So with my family, sometimes we've had a big roast of, like a joint of beef, or like a lot of lamb or something. So it's something kind of big and impressive to put on the table with all the trimmings, I think.
Roast pork and crackling. Yes.
Can't wait for Christmas.
Yeah, we're all excited now.
As long as you've got crackers and a bit of Christmas pudding and everybody together, then... And lay a nice table. That's important.
Yeah.
Make it an occasion.
Although I have to say, we spent a couple of Christmases in Thailand, and I was very keen to not try to replicate a sort of home Christmas there, because I just thought that's not what this is about. So we'll just go and have a lovely meal. And so we just had a really special Thai meal rather than try and kind of, fake it in a place where it didn't need to be.
Exactly. Sometimes you can do that. I think there's only been 2 Christmases where I haven't had a traditional Christmas dinner. Once was when I was in Australia backpacking, and I spent Christmas Day on Bondi Beach in a bikini and a Santa hat, and everyone kind of had barbecues and stuff. So I had like a sausage and a burger for Christmas Day. And then another one was actually out here in Spain many, many years ago. With a few families and things, and we had lunch on the beach at one of our favourite chiringuitos and had prawns pil, calamari, all the traditional Spanish food. And that was really nice because it was really different. Again, we were all wearing our Santa hats going, oh, look at us eating calamari on Christmas Day. It was just kind of fun and it didn't really matter.
I spent a Christmas in Mexico, in fact 2 Christmases in Mexico, because I did a long time on a cruise ship. I was art auctioneer in Mexico. And I don't care if I never see a guacamole and a nacho again, as long as I live.
Really? I love Mexican food.
I did. Not now. Not so much.
You can have too much of a good thing, can't you? And it puts you off. Yeah, I get that. This we also discussed last week, and I wondered if the women had a different opinion on couch potatoes. You can rejoice. TV dinners really do taste better, according to a poll. The sofa is where Britons enjoy eating most, with 9 in 10 admitting it's their favourite dining spot.
If I'm on my own, I'll eat in front of the TV. But if I've got people there around the table, TV kills conversation.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
if we have people coming over, we'll definitely be at the table. But
we do tend to eat on the sofa. We've just got a new sofa, and so the rule is no one eats on the sofa.
Okay.
So now it's forcing us to go to the table, and it's actually quite good because, like you say about the TV killing conversation, we are forced, our son mainly, to speak to us.
Yes.
At least in that sort of 15-minute window. Things are eaten quite quickly, so that, but at least there is a bit more conversation flowing.
It is a way of bringing families together, isn't it? Getting everyone around the dinner table.
Must be hard with the phones these days because the kids are all on their phones, aren't they?
Well, you have to ban them at the dinner table.
As soon as the food arrives, goes away.
You see, as a families at restaurants and everyone's got their head down in a phone. I think, where's the conversation?
Yeah, it's a shame.
As a family, we've always had to have like dinner at the table, unless it's like something very special. So if the final of The Apprentice is on, we can sit and watch the TV.
Right, okay.
But otherwise, we've always been at the table. We're not allowed phones either. But I'm not against sitting. Like if we're watching a movie or something, I can see how that's fun. Like I do it with my boyfriend, but I don't know, I also think it's nice to make an occasion sometimes and all be together.
Yeah. Absolutely. Isn't that funny that you've said if it's a special occasion, we'll eat on the sofa at our house. If it's a special occasion, we'll eat at the table. So that's really interesting. But no, I agree. I mean, it's just the two of us. But if you have got a family, it's a real opportunity to ask the kids about their day and, engage in conversation and things like that. I think it's really important to be able to do that, definitely. One more before we take a quick break. As we've recently had Halloween, there was an article talking about ghosts. It is news to gladden the hearts of any Ghostbusters out there, with research revealing that 1 in 3 of us believe that spooks and ghouls are real, and more than a quarter think it is possible to talk to the dead, while 16% of those surveyed reported going through a ghostly or extraordinary experience. So how do you feel about ghosts or spirits or all that kind of thing?
I'm just not into that at all. 1 in 3 people believe in ghosts. No, I'm sorry. I've seen all those little clips of those funny, spooky shows and things where people pretend to be convinced. And I'm just like, who is watching this? Who is believing? It's like panto. What is going on?
So what about the whole idea of life after death? And is that connected to the same thing? No?
I did have a strange experience when my dad died.
Okay. Well, it normally takes a personal experience to feel...
We'd had the funeral. And I'd come over from Spain for the funeral, and I'd just gone to bed for a while. My aunt had given me a Valium, and it knocked me out, and I went to bed. And I went in the spare room because everyone's coats were in the main room where I'd been sleeping. I went to the spare room, and when I woke up about an hour and a half later, someone had put the electric blanket on, and then when I got up, someone had moved the map of Spain, which was always there when I was in Spain, Dad was in England. And no one, I said, thanks for putting the blanket on, because it was cold,
Yeah.
Everyone looked at each other, no one had put the blanket on. I didn't even know there was an electric blanket on that bed. Wow. And I said, where's the map of Spain gone? And nobody had noticed the going of it, and we never found it.
That was
Yeah.
amazing. How weird. Wow.
But I've never had contact, from mum or dad, never had any contact from them. But I always, I do the thing, if there's a feather, I think, oh, that's them, it's a feather.
Yeah,
and usually I get a feather when I'm in the swimming pool, strangely enough.
Weird. Yeah, I mean, they say that we're supposed to look out for these signs. The signs are often in animals, they say. If an animal's behaving slightly strangely.
Oh, well, that's happened a lot. My 2 cats will suddenly stare at the wall behind me, and I'm on the sofa, and there's nothing behind me but a blank wall, and I think, makes the hackles on my neck.
Definitely.
They're both going...
They're seeing something.
They're seeing something, and I turn around, there's nothing there. So I get up, make a cup of tea. Quickly.
Well, next time they do that, you can go, hi, Dad. Yeah. All right, Mum.
Where's my feather?
Yeah, exactly.
It is interesting because I've never had personal experiences, and I tend to be a bit apprehensive about all that because I'm not sure, it's all a bit fantasy. But then at the same time, loads of people, members of my family, like my grandmother, my mum, they've all had these little experiences, not something so obvious like suddenly seeing a ghost, but little things like that, something being moved or an alarm going off, and just weird things where I'm like, well, why would they lie to me? They're obviously not. So I believe there's something, definitely. I just can't pinpoint exactly what it is.
I think it's one of those things that sounds sort of unrealistic, I guess, but when you've had some kind of experience, it makes you think, wow, there's something in this. But if you haven't, it can sound, oh, come on. But when loads of people around you, even if you haven't had that experience, people who you love and trust are telling you they've had experiences, that's also, oh, well, there must be something in it, because as you say, they wouldn't lie about it. So
I would like to see a sign of my granddad and stuff like that. I wouldn't be against that.
No, exactly.
I think as well, they live through us, through everyone that remembers us, whether you believe in the ghosts or spirits or whatever, you have the memories and the things that belong to them and those special links to you, no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
And keep talking about them, because that way they live on.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Let's take a break.
Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Women Talk. With me in the studio today is Carmel Rogers, Georgina Shaw and Lily Taylor. If you like a kitchen that's bang up to date, then ditch the kettle and the toaster, and you might want to hide the fridge, because that's where kitchen design is heading, say experts. 50 years from now, bulky wired appliances such as the kettle will have vanished. They will, it is claimed, be replaced by sleek multifunctional units hidden behind handleless cabinetry that open by touch or even voice command. How exciting.
Yes.
God, I'd get lost. You wouldn't find anything.
You'd
might
be
as well
constantly
just
opening drawers. What does what?
have everything in your lounge. No, I like my kettle.
This has nothing to do with this, but I got into a Tesco today because I ordered an Uber and I didn't know how to open the door because it's like you have to press it, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't open or close the door. I felt like old.
It's really weird.
So I can't imagine a kitchen.
Yeah.
It'd be like a spaceship.
I know.
I wouldn't want a voice-controlled kitchen. I feel so weird talking to Alexa. And I think because I feel weird about it, then I don't get it, like, she doesn't like me or something. I honestly feel we have a really bad relationship. Because I'll say, like, open garage door, and she'll be playing garage rock. I'm like, no! So I can imagine, like, Alexa, put the kettle on. She'll be like, starting the washing machine now.
Exactly. End up arguing, swearing at her all the time.
I actually did swear at Alexa.
Oh, did you?
And she said, that wasn't very nice.
They're so cheeky.
That's really funny. I mean, I sort of get this a little bit, not necessarily the voice activating things, but we got rid of our toaster years ago because it sits there on the side, and we went through quite a long phase of not buying bread, to be honest with you. So therefore, we were never toasting anything. And then we thought, let's put it in a different room, basically not like in the bathroom, but like in the storage room. Yeah, exactly. And then we ended up getting rid of it completely because we hardly ever have toast, and if we do, we'll just do it in the grill. And that's cleared up room, and we do have loads of kitchen gadgets, but they're all pretty much things that are like put away in the pantry and in storage, so you've got as much space on the surface as possible. So I quite like that.
Yeah, I would like that, but I'm a bit cluttered, really. I've got my air fryer out, my toaster out, various...
It all takes up space, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But,
I guess
I'm trying to think what else I've got
with
out.
the kitchen design that they're talking about, if you do have some really smart appliances that can do lots of it, like that instant boiling water tap, and
Yes, I
various
love
other
that.
things that kind of do a lot of things and can be built in, that would be nice. But it would have to be I think it would still have to fulfill all those objectives and do it in a really smart way, I guess, to make it work.
Do you not think that everything's slowly becoming too simple? Like, have you seen those things where the architecture before architecture nowadays, like houses before? No, so if you look at the churches they used to build and the buildings, and now everything's just plain and white, and we used to have a really nice little wall outside our house, and they've removed it and just put like a big white block thing, and it looks more modern, but I preferred the little...
Quirky.
So slowly I feel like even our kitchen's just going to look blank.
They want everything to look the same.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't like samey things.
No, I interviewed an interior design woman the other day, and she had she was on Zoom, so I could see the background behind her, and she obviously had a beautiful house. And I asked her about that, about colour, and because grey's very in fashion at the moment in interiors.
Yeah, white.
And before that, it was a lot of beige and browns and things like that, very muted colours. And I asked her opinion on colour and things like that, and she said, I love colour. She said, I don't think people should feel that they need to have these. If you like pink, paint your room pink. Yeah. If you like turquoise, paint your room. Don't think, oh no, I've got to have it white and just have a turquoise cushion or a pink. She said, it's your house, it's your home. Do what you like, and she liked to embrace colour. So I thought that was quite nice. But
I think it's the lack of individuality that you're seeing in the architecture, and just everything being very homogenous and bland, and not showing your own personality. So we're all well travelled. I like to bring things back from around the world, and it all looks a bit hodgepodge because of that. Nice. But my husband does not like it. He would love that kind of kitchen in the article. But I just like to see the kind of mix and match and the stories behind each of those objects.
Yeah, I don't want my house to look like a showroom. You know what I mean?
And
you do go to some people's houses and you think, wow, this is stunning, but it feels like a show house. It doesn't feel like a home.
You need a bit of personality.
Yeah. I like to see people's books and people's ornaments and fridge magnets and photos, definitely. Yeah. Let's stick to what we do.
Up with toasters.
Kicking back to watch a film or read a book is how many of us like to switch off after a busy day. But Britons say they struggle to unwind, spending less than an hour a day by themselves. Some 51% can go 1 day a week or longer without having any time to truly relax. That's sad, isn't it?
That is sad.
Oh, sorry, you just woke me up.
Little micro nap.
I'm very busy, but I don't have any problem relaxing at all. I love to have a good book or the TV, a bit of moving wallpaper, and I've stopped feeling guilty if I drop off like an old
Yes. We were talking about this the other day. We mustn't feel guilty having these moments of rest by ourselves, whether it's reading a book, watching television, meditating, or just being, just sitting there looking outside at the beautiful view or something. It's really important to our well-being to do that without feeling guilty.
I think we must be better at relaxing in Spain, I think, than in the UK. I certainly feel like my balance of kind of downtime, even if that downtime's going for a walk or going for a drink or whatever it is better than it was in the UK when things were just like go, 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 and it was so sort of hyper organised. Everything was like diarised down to the minute, and basically, you know, you were on the go until you dropped into bed. But I definitely haven't had that life since I moved here 18 years ago.
Yeah. I've got some days like that. A friend of mine said, "Oh my God, you won't have the energy to walk the dog with me in the morning." I said, "Every day is like that."
Yeah.
But I walk the dog for at least an hour and a half every morning, and that is fabulous. Usually on the beach, sometimes in the woods. And I've just found a new little walk, actually. But and she loves it, and I get a lot from that in nature. Listening to the birds, and you know, and the traffic, of course. But that's a good relaxed time as well.
Yeah. Really nice. I mean, people always tell me how busy I am, and you know, with one thing or another. But it is great to have those little pockets. I mean, they're talking about an hour. We're not talking about a whole day of rest necessarily. Yeah. But yeah, if you do have a busy day, it's finding those times, whether it's at the start of your day, in the middle of your day, at the end of your day, whatever, to just relax so it's not constant. So important. I can feel my body sort of nourishing, you know what I mean? Getting so much from it. It's good.
Definitely. Very, very necessary.
Yes.
We all need it.
We better take another break.
Hannah Murray, TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Women Talk. With me in the studio is Carmel Rogers, Georgina Shaw and Lily Taylor. Time used to be when rolling home at midnight would have been seen as a late night out, but it seems that for today's partygoers, the small hours mark just the beginning of the night's revelries. Research shows that the peak time to call for a taxi to head out on Saturdays has moved back an hour over the past year from 11 p.m. Wow. My goodness.
I'm surprised to hear that, you know. I thought everyone was not going out so much and being
I thought
home
it was
before
early,
midnight
daytime discos and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
God, we'll be tea dancing now. No, it's not for me. I mean, I'm of an age now. I want my bed. Midnight. I turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, I very rarely am out past midnight. Very rarely.
Well, I find in Spain that you can end up being out incredibly late and not realise it at all, because that I was surprised to see in an English newspaper, because to leave the house at 11 p.m. here for a youngster is nothing. I mean, they might, if they're going to turn up at the ferry, they might be turning up at midnight and then they're out until 6 a.m. But I sort of, you know, I don't know, I didn't even know what time the clubs close in the UK now.
Well, clubs are open around 11:30.
Right.
That's the thing. So also when because I've been 3 years in Sheffield, so when you arrive, if you do arrive at 11, nobody's there, so you have to get there by midnight, but then they shut by 3:30, latest 4, so they're not out for that long in comparison here.
Are you talking about a weeknight? A school night?
Every night.
Every night, Carmel.
I'd be dead.
You must have done it yourself back in the day.
Oh, I couldn't possibly comment.
I remember when I worked in Australia at a cafe for a while, I did 12-hour waitressing shifts from 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening.
And then you went out.
And then I'd go back to the hostel, have a shower, go out, and I'd be out to a club till sometimes till 6 in the morning, go home, barely have an hour's sleep, and then go and do
madness. To be fair, I couldn't do that.
No. Well, I mean, certainly couldn't.
I I did do it. We had a bar. We were there from
Here we go,
17
coming
years.
up.
We had a bar. We used to get there about 8:30 in the morning to clean, get the shopping open, whatever. And we didn't shut till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And then I was above the bar, so I'd take the tablecloths and wash them, and I'd have to go out for a drink because my washing machine took an hour. And if I sat in a chair, I'd fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I had to go out for a drink, come back at 4, hang out the tablecloths so they'd be dry by 9, and start all over again. Did that for 17 years. Couldn't do it now. That's why I like to be in bed for midnight now.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Do you know, I'm wondering what you said about the club's not open until 11 and then closing. Whether this, again, is that more of the younger generation aren't drinking as much. So whereas we would have probably gone out earlier and then headed to a club from a pub or a restaurant or something, maybe it's kind of people are just going out just to dance and they're not drinking beforehand.
No, they are drinking. I think there's a higher percentage of people that maybe don't drink. I think more young people might be more conscious in that sense. But the people, which is probably most people, that do still drink, it's because it's so expensive now to buy drinks in the UK in pubs that you pre-drink
So you do
at home.
drinks as a thing,
so bottles of wine and
You go to people's houses
because they
before.
try and avoid drinking at the club as well, like I imagine you did as well.
Yeah, that's why girls get
makes
ready
sense.
together, have a couple of bottles
Yeah,
of wine,
exactly.
and then go out.
Then go
right,
out.
yes,
We
of
go.
course.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That makes more sense.
What about the idea, because of wanting to be in bed earlier than maybe we used to, do you prefer a lunch socialising get-together or dinner?
Both. Well, if I was doing that, getting ready to go out, my friends would be getting ready to go out and I'd be getting ready to go to bed. I'd be saying, have a lovely time, girls. No.
Do you know what I miss is the after work drinks?
Yeah.
When I was in London, those were my favourites.
Pubs.
Just straight out of the office, into the pub, few beers, and then maybe food, but often then just home.
Yeah.
And that was like a really nice little, very intense little social burst before going home. We don't really have that here as much.
No, not so much.
Not as much. Definitely not. I suppose it depends where you work and the kind of when I first moved here, and I did work in an office in Puerto Banús, and we did go for drinks in Banús after work. So I guess it depends. You know, there's nowhere to go here. Is there? But where the studio used to be, Passion Cafe used to be opposite, and after women talk or men talk on an afternoon, normally women talk, we'd often go over the road for a glass of wine.
That's fun.
Those were the days.
I know. Okay, this is a really serious one, but it was in today's paper, and I thought this was really fascinating, and I couldn't believe what I read. So the headline says, in violent Britain, every woman should have the legal right to carry pepper spray. And I thought, I wasn't aware that you legally weren't allowed to carry pepper spray. It says in the article, the maximum penalty for carrying a knife, a weapon that can easily maim or kill, is 4 years in prison. So you haven't done anything with the knife, but you're carrying it with you. If you get stopped by the police, you can obviously be prosecuted just for carrying a knife because it's a potential weapon. So up to 4 years. The current sentence for carrying pepper spray can be more than double that. 10 years in jail.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't it totally ridiculous?
Why? What possible
I don't know.
damage could you do?
It just sort of blinds someone temporarily,
exactly.
which is why it's the perfect thing. If someone is attacking you, spray them with pepper spray. They go, I can't see, and it gives you time to run away.
But a knife can kill.
Exactly. That makes no sense whatsoever.
I was just absolutely shocked by
something else what the government's missed out on. Get a grip, Mr. Starmer. Make pepper spray legal.
Definitely. I mean, there's the argument, which is silly, but there is the argument that people might overuse it and use it when it's not necessary. But at the same time, surely it's more important that people feel safe to be able to protect themselves if someone does have a knife.
I think, there's a difference between carrying something like pepper spray, which is very much more of a self-defense thing, and then using it inappropriately, because then that becomes assault, and you should be prosecuted for that. Whereas if you were in a dangerous situation, you were being attacked and you used it, then that has the mitigating circumstances of self-defense. But the carrying it being more than a knife just seems absolutely bonkers.
More than a knife just
So
is
basically,
insane.
it's illegal to carry pepper spray.
Yes, absolutely. In the UK,
With everything that's happening, knifings on trains, teachers getting knifed, pupils getting knifed, I think it should be compulsory that you do carry pepper spray.
Exactly. The thing that it made me think of, interestingly, is the whole idea of weapons, whether we're talking knives or guns or pepper spray, not that it's a weapon necessarily, but is that when you've got something in your person, you are therefore more likely to use it or able to use it if you haven't got it. And the whole idea of carrying guns in America, which is more of a thing, as I'm protecting my family, I have the right, all that kind of stuff. And they are used far more easily and frequently because they carry them, because they have the right to, and all that kind of stuff, or have it in their homes as protection, that kind of thing. And it just sort of got me thinking, one of my favourite films, Thelma and Louise, and they had the gun with them for protection, and the guy was raping her friend. She said, leave her alone, and he wasn't very nice and carried on, so she shot him. If she didn't have a gun, she wouldn't have been able to shoot him. If she had a baseball bat, she could have hit him on the head and again killed him with a baseball bat. But without a weapon, you can't do that.
No. Yeah.
And it just brings up the argument of if you've got something, you can therefore use it.
And very often there's very high statistics of people that carry weapons because they feel like a victim. And they are very often turned against them because if you don't know how to use it, you're actually more likely to have it put on yourself. So I had when I was a teenager in London, my 2 friends carried knives, and I was like, you have to stop doing this. A, you're going to get yourself in deep trouble, and B, you do not know how to use this. You're nice boys that would never be able to use it, but there are bad people in the street that could take it off you and use it on others or yourself. So please, just like you say, don't get yourself into that trouble. But they felt so vulnerable. They were like, we're always being like chased, or people are starting on us, being mugged, these young boys, 15, 16 years old, that they really, really felt themselves that they needed that for their own protection. And that's a very sad thing in itself.
It really
is. It's very sad.
It's just constantly the same cycle, though, because, of course, those boys weren't attackers or anything. I'm super against carrying weapons, obviously, and let alone using them, but you're just constantly going to go round in circles with but what if I need it, what if I don't? I just think it's so much, at the end of the day, it's always going to be crime, whether you like it or not. There's always going to be the bad person that uses it, but just making it more accessible. I know that in the UK it's not legal to carry a knife, but like in America, for example, just even allowing that, it's impossible to control then. At least if they're illegal, I guess you could control it more. I don't know, but so many people have so many different opinions.
It is, though. It's a
tough one.
Yeah. I mean, the idea with gun crime is so much more in America than any other country in the world.
They're the ones that have legalised it.
Exactly.
So the math does add up.
It does.
Totally.
It really does.
Totally. Okay. I find this utterly bizarre. Men are outspending women on beauty and wellness products designed to promote good health as well as good looks. Some moisturizers, body lotions, and caffeine shampoos are designed to not only boost appearances but also improve skin and hair health. Men and women were asked how much they spend across price ranges from less than £10 to over £250 a year. Men were found to outspend women in the top range. Some 8% said they spend more than £250 a year.
That's so much money.
That is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but good on them.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Nothing against it. I just, the men in my life, I've never seen that, the bit of moisturiser or something like that. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of men, soap and water, and that's and deodorant, and that's pretty much it. I would have thought that.
Deodorant.
Yes, but I would have thought that is more common. Soap and water.
Male grooming is important, and I think
expensive though.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe the more luxury end has been on the marketing side to the men?
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said earlier, my boyfriend likes his hairstyling things, but just like caffeine shampoo and all these special face washes. He would never use any of that. But whereas I would, so I would definitely outspend him on that. But I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of any men really that spend that much money.
Question: does your boyfriend, does your husband use a factor in their sun cream, or do they not use sun cream? No.
He should.
God, he should, yeah.
No, I know.
Because that would be... Again, that would come into the same bracket, wouldn't it, really?
Yeah, I suppose.
I guess they just use what we've got.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. There's no way they'd be buying their own.
But I think that's good that a lot of the moisturisers have, sun protection in them. And that, I think, is probably what a lot of men will use just as a basic kind of thing. And me as well.
Me too, Not that it's made any difference.
But, I mean, also things like maybe eye cream, thinking about anti-aging, all that kind of stuff. People in general are a lot more conscious of that, men as well as women. Yeah. So I think a lot of men are maybe thinking, well, I'd like, if they're looking in the mirror and thinking, gosh, I've got some lines now that I didn't used to. Whether they're discussing it with their wives or girlfriends and saying, oh, maybe I could get a eye cream.
I think
because they're all products aimed at men.
Yeah, I think it's come a long way. I mean, I remember sort of 30 years or so ago, you didn't have male skincare ranges.
Not at all.
Certainly not that were marketed. And they remember when it sort of all started coming in, it was all this kind of like,
metrosexual.
Real men use moisturiser kind of thing, like super butch. And now it's just not like that at all. It's kind of like, they have that, like the Dove skincare stuff, which is, rugby players and footballers, putting their not their makeup, their moisturiser on, probably do wear the makeup as well. But I think it sort of changed that feeling that skincare is for women. I think that has definitely changed.
I think men are embracing it more as just looking after themselves a bit more.
And I've seen men put lip salve on. They use that. And I mean, it used to be Gillette, the best a man can get, and that was all he could get. But now there's everything. Oil of Olay for men.
Yeah, well, why not? We have one more ad break to take.
Hannah Murray, TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the last part of today's Women Talk with Carmel Rogers, Georgina Shaw and Lily Taylor. Women feel less comfortable talking about money with friends than men, a survey suggests. The UK-wide research found 39% of women like talking about finances compared with half of men. Reasons given for discomfort include embarrassment, fear of judgment and feelings of failure.
No. Happy to talk about money.
I've never
it's
been that
usually
particularly
how much
bothered.
I haven't got.
Yeah, same, exactly. Yeah, I'm not really.
I'm still reeling from a €700 car bill for a catalytic converter.
Oh,
Jesus.
There you go, no embarrassment here. Straight in for the figures.
Straight in. Well, talk about my catalytic converter all day if you like.
I don't really have a thing about it, but it is normally from a negative point of view, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to talk about because I don't have much to say about it just yet, but I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't talk about it though. I've always been taught, like, not obviously with people, like I'd talk about it with my parents and the people around me, close to me, but I wouldn't ever open up about money. I don't think I will. Maybe I will. I don't know. I've had not much experience.
They say you're not supposed to. I mean, you shouldn't kind of say, how much do you earn and how much do you get paid for that? And if you've got a savings account and how much, you know what I mean? That's something that you're not supposed to do. But I suppose if you want to divulge that information to a friend, that's up to you. But I would never ask people those kinds of questions.
No. But I think maybe the sort of article comes from that point of like men kind of comparing paychecks and, comparing themselves on that level of earning and spending and that defining their worth in some way, whereas I think probably female friendships probably don't have that at their core. We might talk about our money worries because it's part of kind of feelings and concerns and life stuff, but maybe not, the cold, hard kind of cash of it.
It's not really necessary, is it, really?
But then the article says about self-worth and feeling inferior, doesn't it? That wouldn't be the reason why I wouldn't discuss it, more so just because I have no interest in discussing it, maybe. But it wouldn't be because I was to feel inferior if I didn't have it, or I don't know.
No, I mean, it's interesting because I have had different friends over the years, some who have a lot less than me and some who have a lot more than me, and it can get want to say awkward, but you know, if you've got friends with who have different levels of money and they want to do different things, you know, people have more money, might want to go to really nice restaurants, and you know, it's my birthday, I want to go to this lovely restaurant and expect everyone to pay 150 euros a head or whatever. And other people who don't have much money will be looking at doing different things. Why don't we all go for a picnic or something? And in one way you sort of need to adapt, but in other way you can't always adapt to do things with people who have more money if you can't afford it. And we need to be able to be more honest about that and say, oh, that sounds great, but I'm really sorry, I'm watching my pennies at the moment or whatever.
I'll join you for a drink. You know, I'll pop round and see you before you guys go out, you know.
Yeah, there are ways of doing it.
Or let's go for tapas next week.
We'll do our own thing. Exactly.
I get that, to be fair. I've said, like, I wouldn't feel that way, but then at 20, I feel like there's not that much of a divide or difference of salaries, because people who have loads of money, it's more that they've always had loads of money at 20. So, I feel like I haven't got there yet, but we'll see.
I mean, I think as well there is a bit with women sort of, you know, in the workplace as well, not being as comfortable to go and demand a salary or perhaps talk about that in that way.
Well, that's a good point.
And when I first started in business, I was horrible at charging and talking about charging. People would ask me, how much did I charge? And I'd be like, I'll send you an email, I'll send you a proposal. I would never say anything. And then I had to give myself a real talking to, because I'm like, I'm wasting so much time here. And so I went the opposite way, and I was like, right, this is my hourly rate, this is what I tend to charge for a monthly, If you're okay with that, then let's carry on talking, because I felt that suddenly
got it out the way.
And I was like going in there going, I'm not going to be backwards in talking about that. Whereas my business partner, also my husband, never a problem with going straight in there on the money side. So perhaps there is something.
I know, because I feel embarrassed to ask what my salary is going to be. My mum keeps telling me off, because I get back and she's like, oh, how much are they going to pay you? I'm not going to know. Because I can't ask. She's like, you have to know. And I was like, I'll ask tomorrow when I start.
That must be a thing then. Women are more embarrassed about that's really interesting.
I'm getting better though.
I
am.
Take the power. Don't be afraid, because if you don't ask, you don't get. And I wonder about how much of the pay disparity between men and women comes from the lack of forcefulness around that. I really do.
Maybe.
She's good.
That's a really interesting point. Wow. Men will ask for it more, won't they? This is what I want.
They deserve it.
It's a funny thing, because, you know, when I was on cruise ships and I was an auctioneer, the girls always used to say the boys get the best ships. And I used to say, no, that we mustn't say that. We get but they were right at the end of the day. They really were. The boys did get the best ships. And there was a lot of really powerful women auctioneers out there.
Interesting.
Girl power.
Yes, let's play the Spice Girls. We have 5 minutes left, and this is an interesting one. I loathe my best friend's lumbering bozo of a husband, but here's why I'll never tell her. I have read the article before, and it's basically you don't like your best friend's partner. You find him rude, not just to you, but also to his partner, your best friend, and find it really uncomfortable. What do?
You can't do anything. You just have to be there when it all breaks up.
I agree. I don't think you should say anything.
You can't.
No.
Because
it will come back on you.
If they get married, you won't be invited. Because you've told her that you don't like him. It's
I think it's dangerous to get involved there, but what I think, you can sort of say, just because I don't like the couple doesn't mean I can't still stay friends with the woman or the other half, and just to sort of try and plan things where you kind of separate a bit and then tolerate where you do need to be together. But it is a difficult one.
Really
Minefield.
Because the article talks about, the friend who's got the horrible husband saying, oh, let's go together, let's do dinner, and our husbands too, and all that. And when that keeps happening, you can't keep saying no. You've got to grin and bear it. And oh dear, difficult, really tricky. I'm not sure about this in the book, but you've just got to hope that at least the two husbands can kind of get on and find a bit of common ground, so you can step back. But sometimes that doesn't happen either.
No. Would you say anything, Lily?
I don't think. No, I couldn't. Well, I mean, it depends. I don't know, because I just don't know. I couldn't.
You'd want to be able to tell your friends, wouldn't you? That's the thing.
What if she asks you straight out?
I think
do you
could
like
give
him?
Signs. I think you could be like, oh, I didn't like especially if it's between them, I don't think I would care as much if I didn't get along with him, because it's not my relationship. If I saw that he wasn't treating her right, then I could maybe say, look, that doesn't look right, and then she can make her own decision at the end of the day.
That's true.
Yes.
You can absolutely say, I don't like the way he speaks to you.
behaviour.
And
Yes.
I'm happy you're happy, but it's not really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I remember one of
Even that's quite strong, Carmel, isn't it?
That's why I haven't got any friends. That's not true.
Oh, brilliant. No, it's not true.
I remember at university, this friend of mine had this horrible boyfriend, and they broke up briefly, and we were all going, yes, he was awful, we hated him. And then immediately they got back together. We were like, you've never liked him. Like, oh, well, we didn't think you'd get... Oh, God. So I learned my lesson from that. Like, I keep, cards a bit close to chest there, because you just don't know. And you don't know the inside of their relationship either. You don't know kind of how it all is behind closed doors, so better to keep stum, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an interesting one. We've got under 3 minutes for this, and it's quite a big topic. I'm having an emotional affair with a man I've only met once, and we do nothing more than text. This is a really interesting subject, the whole idea of cheating and what constitutes as cheating.
That's cheating.
That is cheating.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think emotional is worse than physical.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly.
100%
Can
cheating.
be, definitely. But too dangerous.
It's the thing is with the messaging is if you're sending messages to someone that you wouldn't share with your partner, that's the deceit, isn't it? That proves you're doing something wrong.
Yes.
If you're messaging with an ex-partner or whoever, and you're saying to your partner, I've just had a message from my ex-boyfriend, because that's happened to me. And I tell my husband, that's
okay.
nice, he just messaged me, and it's totally out in the open because nobody's doing anything wrong, and that's fine. But if you're getting messages from someone and you're kind of all giggly and it's all a bit flirty, and that's behind your partner's back, it's 100% wrong.
Definitely. Very much cheating, that is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And do you think that's more prevalent now, as everybody's on their phones?
Definitely.
So you have this kind of much more, like an ability to sort of have that private offside kind of thing.
I think so. I don't know how many people share even the code to get in their phones with their partners. I mean, some do, I'm sure, some don't, and there's nothing wrong with not. But it could be that anything you do on your phone, your partner could never, ever have access to, because they don't know how to even get into your phone or your computer.
How do you carry on in a relationship like that if you're actually into something? It's cheating because your head's not where it should be at. As well. It's also, if you were to find out they were doing that to you, you'd be distraught. I wouldn't.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's the whole thing with cheating. Reverse. Think about it. If it was the other way round, how would you feel? And if you know you wouldn't like it, then you know you're doing something wrong.
It's definitely cheating.
Yeah.
I think, there are, not that I'm excusing it at all, but I think there might be extenuating circumstances, like supposing the husband's always working and never there, and the wife or the girlfriend, whoever, meets somebody at the gym or something, and it's very dangerous, because these things can snowball.
That's the thing. It can potentially start innocently.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell your husband every single message exchange you're having with someone of the opposite sex.
No.
It's just when it escalates
and
to a sort of flirting level that your husband could never ever see this, then you're doing something wrong.
And if you do that, make sure your opening thing for your phone is your thumbprint, because then no one can ever see what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Tips.
Well, thank you, ladies, very much. Thank you for your advice, Carmel.
Anytime.
To end on.
Yes. Thank you all for being with me today on the show.
You've been listening to a TRE production. If you've enjoyed this programme, there'll be another episode waiting for you next week, right here on this platform, where you can also access our extensive back catalogue of shows and interviews. For more information on our live programming, social media channels and apps, and how to contact Talk Radio Europe, please visit tre.radio.